Mainstreaming, a streaming service provider that enables broadcasters, media and gaming companies to stream video with the best quality of experience to their audience globally. Vertically integrated from the network to the streaming software, Mainstreaming simplifies the video workflow. We are now one of the largest networks in the world, built with over 2,700 points of connection with ISPs and telecommunication carriers. With our innovative artificial intelligence and its machine learning capabilities, we increase bitrate, reduce latency, and prevent congestion over the internet. With our innovative solution, stream live and on-demand video easily everywhere. Mainstreaming, your video delivered.
We all know how important testing is. It's how you discover bugs in your software, or whether your new apps and features work the way they should. But which tests do you need to run? Find out with Resilient. We set new standards in the world of testing as a service. Our experts cover every stage of every test, so you'll have the right people with the right skills running the right tests for you. Everything you want to know is displayed on a comprehensive dashboard. It's tailored to your needs. And with 24/7 monitoring, you're instantly alerted if a critical user story fails. Peace of mind for a simple, fixed, monthly rate. It's time to identify and iron out the bugs, bring your products and features to market sooner, and deliver greater user satisfaction. Ask Resilient for your demonstration today. Resilient, guardians of the connected world.
Welcome to HbbTv Demo Live, the third out of 3 exclusive preview events we have ahead of the HbbTv Symposium and Awards taking place next week in Naples. This is why it's the last out of the 3 sessions. We've got an exciting lineup of speakers and companies for you today. You'll all meet all of them in Naples next week, and they're going to give you an exclusive inside look at what they'll be presenting in Naples, and we'll be discussing industry developments and everything that you need to know, and give you a few last minute bits and pieces of information to prepare your trip to Naples. Of course, before I forget it, everything you need to know about Naples, the big event next week, is on the HbbTv website, hbbtv.org. You find information on the conference agenda, the speakers, the sponsors, the media partners, the venue, recommended hotels, everything you need to know. And of course, most importantly, there are still a couple of tickets left. So be quick, they're selling out quickly, but there's still a few tickets left. So better be sure you sign up soon. Next week is the big event. So let's have the first speaker on the stage now, Roberto Boroni from Nagra. Welcome, Roberto.
Hello, Jon. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here again. So today I don't have really a live demo, but actually a few slides I would like to share to present a solution we have been deploying in the market to some operators, where we bring together content security, content monetization, together with the overall user experience direct on the TV screen, and where HbbTv is a cornerstone of the whole product. So first of all, why direct on TV? So the point is that the TV screen we see is coming back to the center of the home entertainment. So the role of the TV screen has changed across the years. So it was the king of the home entertainment. Then in different waves of transformation of our industry, the role has changed. So when we had pay TV operators, we had set-top boxes, maybe even game console. So the TV screen was becoming more a video matrix. Then with the rise of OTT, the TV is one of many devices that the user can use to consume content. And now, even if overall this environment has not changed, the TV is getting back to standing out of this crowd for two main reasons. So one is the capability of these TVs, also more and more being connected, so allowing a really comprehensive and compelling user experience. And the other aspect is really that that's the device where a lot of content gets aggregated. Now, when we defined this solution, there were some key points we wanted to address, some critical elements. So first of all, we want to have the operator service that is discoverable by the user. And when it's discovered, the subscriber must become, from a user, it must become a subscriber, so on board to the service of the operator. And once this is activated, we want the operator to own the UI on the screen, to have its user experience that is implemented on the TV, and to have visibility for its brand. So already taking these 4 points, what we have done is to have a way to push really the service of the operator in front of the user, and to have a quick way, a simple way to onboard, to activate the subscriber through already an HbbTv application that is able to allow the operator to implement its preferred way of turning a user, a TV user, into a subscriber. And then finally, relying on the HbbTv operator app capability to have the operator user experience and UI integrated persistently on the TV. So full visibility of the brand, of the UI of the operator. Then we need, here I'm speaking more of pay TV operators, so for sure we need to monetize, to allow the operator to monetize the content and to keep it secure, to avoid that the TV set is becoming the weak link of the ecosystem of the operator. So that's why we decided to implement in TVs directly state-of-the-art security. And finally, as the industry is really under a lot of pressure, obviously also on operator side to reduce cost, we need to help in optimizing the whole ecosystem enablement. So for example, implemented application across the different devices. Now, with this solution, if we look to the benefits for the operators, so for sure, we reduce cost in 2 ways. So no set-top box means no CapEx expenses. And then with this way of activating, pushing the brand of the operator on screen, activating directly the operator, the user on screen for the operator, means that we have a low customer acquisition cost. Then the user experience is, as I said, comprehensive. It's an aggregate user experience directly on the TV screen with a clear placement of the operator brand in the home screen or in the banner with the different OTT apps that are present on the TV set. And all of these allows the operator to have a new addressable market. So all the people that is purchasing a new TV or that has already installed at home a TV that is compatible with the service. And all of these is implemented indeed relying on the HbbTv framework overall, and specifically, as I mentioned, through the operator app concept. On the other side, there is a subscriber. So for the subscriber, there are different advantages. For sure, having no additional devices, cables, remotes in the home. So using just the TV to have access to all the content. Then there is an easy way to activate, so no hurdles to become a subscriber of the service. And when that's done, there is no gap in respect to the capabilities or content that the user could get with the traditional set-top box. So a really comprehensive, complete user experience. Plus, obviously, we want to be eco-friendly, so there is a lower power consumption, not having multiple devices in the home. Another aspect specifically that we have created on top of the traditional way of installing an op-app in the TV set is to have an automated pop-up that is appearing during the first time installation of the TV or when the operator is launching service on all the compatible TVs that are in the market. And I think that this is really a key element that we have seen is really interesting for pay TV operators because it's really a strong marketing tool that creates a market, that creates a new addressable market for the operator and can be used also, for example, now we are in the period of the Black Friday or Christmas is coming. So it's a tool that can be reused also to relaunch commercial campaigns also after the launch of the service. And then obviously the user must have the possibility anytime to be able to launch the installation, so the application that can allow the onboarding of the user directly from his TV. Now, to close, I think I wanted to share some challenges we have found in launching this product, which I believe are also challenges that we can find in any HbbTV rollout. So first of all, the scalability. We need to address different brands of TVs, different models of TVs inside the same brand. So we need to ensure really the same kind of capabilities, performances across all TVs. And we want to avoid that we solve the fragmentation of the different operating system of the different TVs by creating another fragmentation having different capabilities or different performances. So that's because we want really to have a user experience that has the same quality for the user as a traditional set-top box and on any TV set, and also indeed to be consistent across different brands, different models. And finally, as I was mentioning, we want also to address the TVs that are already in the market. One key element is also how to deploy efficiently and securely on the TVs that are already installed in the home of the user. So I believe those are key elements that maybe we would like also to have the chance to discuss with a peer in the industry at the symposium. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was interesting, especially the op app. You'll be hearing a lot about that in the next few weeks at the symposium, of course, and by new rollouts. There'll be a major rollout in the UK next year. HD Plus in Germany rolled it out in 2019. And they've recently released an update on this, so I think that they're pretty happy with the op app, and as I call it, a virtual set-top box inside the smart TV. Let's discuss the op app further at the symposium next week, November 28th and 29th in Naples. And now, thank you, Roberto. Let's move on to Philippe Tripodi at mainstreaming, and let's see what mainstreaming has for us. Welcome, Philippe. You're still muted.
Okay.
Here we go.
Muted.
Now
Thank you, Jörg. Can you see my presentation? Yes.
Yes, it's
okay.
running.
Thank you again, and hello to all our millions of concurrent viewers today. I mean, millions of viewers is the main point of my presentation. So, how much is challenging to deliver live streaming at scale for millions of concurrent viewers? We can see this year in April, Netflix cancelled his first live stream show. The name was Love is Blind, but also the Major League Soccer in the US, streaming by HbbTv, went down on Saturday night. The NBA with YouTube TV, and so on. A few months ago, the Sunday Night Football stream on Peacock, all the users were upset and reporting glitching, lagging, buffering, freezing, choppy, pick-to-dropping, and so on. So, in few words, live streaming at scale is really hard. And what will happen when the switch off of digital terrestrial broadcasting will be in place in 2030 in Europe. So this problem become more and more urgent, and also because the HbbTV viewers, what they really matters for them is they want to enjoy a broadcast grade experience. No, what does it mean, a broadcast grade experience? They want the quickest video start time, the highest average bit rate, no rebuffering, no playback errors. So how can we achieve this result for millions of concurrent users? Let me show what a success case that we implemented with the DAZN Edge in mainstreaming. You can also download the white paper with more details on our website, on the homepage of our website. As you can see, we achieved. In the red, you see the DAZN Edge performances. The DAZN Edge is powered by mainstreaming, is our private edge technology for live distribution, live VOD, but live is the most interesting topic. As you can see, almost on each ISP, we achieved the shortest video start time. The same for we had the highest average bitrate on almost the ISPs, and almost zero rebuffering ratio in presence of millions of viewers. Now, in this quick demo, I only want to introduce what can be the topics that we can discuss in Naples in the symposium, and I will personally be present there. I would like to welcome you to visit us, our stand, to go deep in our technology, and see what we can do for the HbbTv delivery, and not only. So this is our welcome, and see you in Naples. This is my last slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This was interesting because when you ask somebody what's the most annoying thing about streaming, it's supposed to be the future of television, it's buffering. Everybody hates it, and we come from a broadcast world where we are not used to buffering because it simply doesn't exist in the classic broadcast DVB world, cable, satellite, and so on. And then there's buffering, all old, new, and you're trying to get that back, rid of that again. So we have a classic broadcast quality again on streaming. So I think that is really a hot topic, and definitely something I think all market players are interested in. And Naples next week is the opportunity to discuss these ways of optimizing video delivery. Thank you very much, Philip.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
Now let's move on to Agnello Saulino at Kineton. For Kineton, it's a home game because they're based in Naples. Welcome.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Joran. Thanks for your, let me say, virtual presence here. So next slide, please. The landscape of advertising on HbbTv platform is undergoing a profound evolution, marked by the gradual displacement of traditional linear advertising in favor of the dynamic and, let me say, versatile realm of IP-based promotion. Transitioning from traditional linear advertising to IP-based advertising comes with several advantages. In fact, the advertisers and content providers have new opportunities and improved targeted capabilities. And here you can see some key advantages. The first one is the targeted advertising. IP advertising allows for a highly targeted and personalized content delivery, enabling in some way advertisers to tailor ads to specific characteristics. The second one is the real-time analytics, because advertisers gain access to real-time analytics, and this offers an immediate insight into viewers' interactions. Then the third one, last but not least, let me say, is the monetization opportunities, because content providers can explore additional monetization revenue through IP advertising, as targeted and interactive ads may command higher rates. Next slide, please. HbbTv provides a standard for targeted advertising in which it explains how to perform the dynamic substitution. This solution is based on the use of particular markers in the signaling, which alerts when substitution needs to take place. And this is an important part of this functionality because it ensures that the accuracy at the frame of the substitution. The problem with this solution is that it is expensive for the broadcasters and requires hardware to be implemented. Looking for an alternative to what we have just seen, we encountered two main challenges. The first one is that in order to be able to start as quickly as possible, the video that will replace the linear advertising must be preloaded. Now, we know that technically, as soon as a video tag is mounted on the page, many HbbTv devices react by blanking the broadcast. And the second one is that we need something which says to the device, please launch the video now, more or less instantly, let me say. And we solve both in the demo we are going to show you today by two ways. The first one is creating a customized JavaScript library using some native instruction of the native HTML video player. And also we use a particular push technology which is widespread in the Web 2.0 environment. So solving these two problems, I'm just changing the camera. Here we are. In the demo, you see right now, we prepared two television. On the right, you see the linear channel. And as you can see, the advertising, which you can see on the right, has been replaced by our let me say, advertisement on the left. So the switch is more or less instant, and the advertising, the linear advertising, has been substituted with our advertising. So I was saying that solving these two things, we are finally able to supply the AD substitution with a very good precision, and so that's all we prepared for today. Obviously, it's just a proof of concept. Once you have just seen, we are fine-tuning our JavaScript library, and at the symposium we will show how the things works in a let me say live environment. So stay tuned and see you at our booth.
Thank you. This was very interesting, a live demo, and it did work.
Thank you.
So
yeah.
Well done. And
very strange.
Strangely enough, it did work, and so very happy, of course. And it is, I think, a very good example of how a dynamic ad replacement is working. TA, now it's live. I remember last year the symposium we were talking about it. You know, first trials, first tests, first experiences. Now it's there. It can be used commercially by broadcasters, and actually TA is going to be the focus of a roundtable we'll have at the symposium, where your colleague Pedro will be participating from Kineton. So it will be interesting to hear more from you next week in Naples. Thank you, Nello. See you in Naples.
Yeah. Thank you.
From the south of Europe in Italy, let's move to the north of Europe in Finland, where Juha Joki from Sofia Digital is waiting for us. Hi, Juha.
Hi, Jörn.
What have you got for us today?
I have a few slides, so not a live demo, but I will share my screen.
We can see the slides already.
I will. Yes.
But you can show them from your system, and here is now your screen.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so very nice to be here again, and next week again in the symposium now in Naples. Unfortunately, from Finland it is a little bit difficult to reach Naples. I have to jump 2 times to get back on Thursday, but anyway, it should be a really nice place to have the symposium, and really looking forward to it. So a few words about what we are showing there. So as some of you already know Sofia Digital, so here's the introductory slide, but I will talk about one topic today, which is testing and receiver laboratories. And we have here in Finland, in the Northern Europe, over 200 televisions in our laboratory, and they are remotely accessible, and we are using them to test our own applications for our clients, and also third-party applications, HbbTv applications, and so on. And also we are the certification laboratory for the Nordic region for the old-fashioned DVB testing. So we have a lot of experience in testing HbbTv applications and getting them to work on even the oldest devices that are still available. And we have been in the business over 20 years, so this is something which is beginning to be quite unique. And today I'm really briefly talking about the TV app development and related testing. Example is from Finland. This is called the Ruutu, which is it's one of the biggest OTT portals for the commercial broadcaster Sanoma, which is a pretty big company. They have a lot lot of content, and we have provided this application HbbTv version and other versions as well. And our test coverage for this HbbTv application is currently including all the major HbbTv vendors, I mean the TV manufacturers from 2015 onwards. And this is a funny topic, that this is how you reach even the oldest devices. So this, for us, it has been a revelation that HbbTv's major strength also comes from a little bit surprising angle, that you can still reach your audience on the old devices when you are making it HbbTv compatible, even when the apps are already removed from the App Store. And this is something that in the analytics surprised us a few months ago, that we saw that, okay, these old devices are really not so popular, but HbbTv remains the only way to reach this content on the smart TV side. And in our test laboratory, all the devices are accessible on any given time, and they are not stored in any storage. They are active. They can be plugged in 5-minute notice. And also for this Ruutu application, 12 of the most common devices are accessible remotely, and they are used in the nightly automated test run for this Ruutu project and also for other projects as well. So it is not just a line in our brochure, but they are actually available and accessible all the time. And this Ruutu application is also significant that in addition to HbbTv, it is tested and built simultaneously to 12 different smart TV platforms. So we get unprecedented coverage for this application using our application framework. And here is a couple of diagrams which explain how the system. So all the devices are connected to the automated test laboratory, which can be used to share the devices and used also outside the office. We also have remote workers or employees who are not even living in the office or near the office, and they can access the devices remotely anytime they like. And some technical information how this system is built for the automated testing. The automation platform we use is from suite.st, which is probably familiar, and then we are using TestRail for the test reporting and building the necessary dashboards and the results for the automated tests, and also this acts as a repository for the manual test cases. And of course, our internal toolbox includes the DRM debugging and dash manipulation tools, which you are familiar with in our work with the dash DRM reference application. And here is a list of some of the players that we have worked with also in the HbbTV environment. So we have great knowledge how these different player libraries can get or can be put into use in the HbbTV environment as well, if your clients require some certain player to be used. And at the HbbTV Symposium next week, we will be showcasing our usual portfolio of products, DVPI, HbbTV clients, and full DVPI backend for the native implementations, and also for the HbbTV and HbbTV op apps. And targeted advertising, of course, in addition to these new school things, we also have an old school targeted advertising demonstration, which we have tested on these old platforms that I was talking about previously. So you will get great coverage on the old platforms as well. And some OTT operator app examples, the full DVP backend, which is very familiar to some of our customers. And then you can come to talk to us about the Dash DRM reference application with the latest content, and also the HbbTV test suite latest content, and more. Please come and see us and ask us about something regarding HbbTV. We will probably have it, or we can provide it. And here is some of the examples that we have been working on the latest weeks. And here is not picture of me, but picture of my two colleagues who will be with me at the symposium next week, Mika and Juho, who you will probably know already, especially Mika. That was my last slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Testing is, of course, very important because there's nothing worse than you're trying to run an app and it doesn't work. It suddenly stops. It doesn't work smoothly. And of course, you want to avoid that before you release the app if you're a provider of the app. And then, of course, you can approach Sophia Digital, who have been in the business so long and they know exactly how to make the app run smoothly on all different systems from all different manufacturers across all different models. It's not as easy as it seems, I think. And next week in Naples, we'll be hearing a lot more about how to make your app run smoothly across all different platforms. Thank you very much, Juha.
Thank you.
Now let's move back to the south, to Spain, where Agustin Perez is waiting for us from Cibo. What have you got for us today?
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks everyone for attending this webinar, and also we wait for you in Naples. So we have a little bit of presentation and also some demos. So let me proceed directly. Okay, here we go. So we are going to talk about privacy and user consent in HbbTv. So just a few highlights about trends and demo. So first of all, to introduce about Cibo. So basically, we provide a consultancy related to advertising and programmatic advertising. And so we come from this world of online advertising that is now converging with television. And on the other hand, we also provide a Cibo consent platform to gather the consent of the user to be able to track the user and comply with GDPR. I just wanted to bring some trends that, of course, I'm sure that are known by everyone. So there is a strong convergence between the TV and digital, the adoption of new platforms, smart TVs, fast channels, and what takes us here, which is HbbTv. And that is coming together with a rise in the programmatic advertising adoption. So basically, the advertising is going into digital and automatized through different platforms, supply platforms, demand platforms, and all that is also being done in connected TV and HbbTv. And what it's in the media now, and you've seen in the past 2 weeks, for example, Facebook that has been obliged to gather the consent in a different way. And it's also something new for the broadcasters in television, because previously the users were not tracked. And now with HbbTv, they can be tracked. We can see what are their, what likes them. And definitely it's important to comply with data privacy and gather the consent of the users. So that's what we do with Cibo platform. And what makes difference the TV environment and the HbbTv environment is it's what we put in this slide. So the integration, which need to be designed and for TV, which is rather different than doing it for web. To use the remote control, need to be integrated in HbbTv applications, something that is not very common in 95% of developers. The user interface is overlaying the broadcast content. The CMP should not collect data itself. It's a technology to gather the consent, not to gather data from the user itself. We need a strong testing and reliability of the platform, as this environment of TV requires, with so many devices and users. It's impossible, and we know that it's very, very difficult, although we are finding a solution for that, but it's very difficult to reach all the devices. So at the end, it's needed to blacklist or whitelist devices. And the logs analysis is a good help for that. The infrastructure has to be scalable and reliable. And we have to put a special attention to the rebound rate or what does the user when they see the consent banner. So let me go directly to some demos. So here you can see the Couch Play implementation in HbbTV in Germany. Couch Play, by the way, is also one of the sponsors together with us. And so this is the user experience that a TV viewer can see. It appears only one time in 24 months if they don't reset the TV, and they can directly accept, or if they want to configure with the remote control, they will see which are the purposes, which are the purposes that they are providing consent. So here they can see the different, this wording is coming from the TCF,
Just very quickly,
the Transparency and Consent Framework, IB Europe.
Can we see the demo, or are we supposed to see the demo because we can't see anything at the moment?
Okay, sorry, maybe
you'll try to run that again.
Yeah, let me go again.
I'll let you know when it's there. Something's launching. Oh yes, there is now your desktop.
Okay, so let me go back.
Move to the right screen.
Let me go back 1 second. Sorry.
There's Couch Play. Okay.
Yeah, so this is Couch Play, what I was trying to show. And this is the CMP in Couch Play, so where you can accept, configure, and if it's necessary, we can add a reject button, which it will be in the coming weeks. And here you can see that the experience is prepared for the remote control, where if you go to configure, you can see the different purposes that some of them are you don't have a choice to accept or reject, because those are technical cookies, or that by law you can deliver them. But then you can find different purposes according to the standardized transparency and consent framework from IB. So these are the purposes that we ask consent to the user. This is something that is configurable. And with all these, you can also select in a granular way the partners that you want to select the consent. And this is important because the advertising now is prepared to receive automatically in a what is called a consent stream, which is the consent of the user for all these vendors that are standardized, and also for which purposes these vendors have consented, because each vendor consent or requires a different purposes. So you can accept, if you want to configure all these, 95% of the user directly accept on the first banner, and so they don't go into the configuration, but it has to be prepared in case they want to configure. And this is another example from one of our customers. So this is Mediaset in Spain, and the the CMP also appears here. You can see this is a different design with also, and in this case, in Spanish. So you can also configure all the different purposes. And this is another version, more evolved than the previous one. And again, you can see here the selection of the different partners that you can select either one by one, or you can reject all of them, accept all of them, and when you click and save, everything is closed. The user has consented or not, and this information is passed through the supply chain to the different demand partners, so they can evaluate if they can do personalized advertising or they cannot, if they can track, if they can do, if it's a partner that is used for doing automatic content recommendation, they know if they have the consent of the user to do that or not. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This was very interesting. Of course, when you're running an HbbTv app, I've had it tested and everything, you need to make sure it's compliant with the regulation of your local market. And actually, the cases you just mentioned, data privacy, data protection, youth protection, anything that you have to comply with. So there's Sibo, an expert for you to discuss these things next week in Naples. See you there, Augustine.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. We are looking forward to see you in Naples.
Thank you. Let's continue with the last guests we have. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Carl Manteca and Boris Wodke from Konodrag. Hi there, how are you?
Hi, very well, very well. How about yourself?
Very well, thank you.
So we are supposed to share the screen. That's working fantastic. So we have a kind of a live demo, but for the sake of digging into 1 million data points, we decided to just share the result of that live demo with you today. And in Naples, we're more than happy to show you, if you have a little bit more time, to dive into the data lake of Spain. And the example, what we want to share with you today is about the Spanish market and what we have done over the last couple of years, which is basically great for all broadcasters who want to monetize their content for linear TV. We're not even talking about addressable, but linear TV, and who've been so far stuck with the classical people meter conundrum, which is you have lots of moments during the day when you have a 0 rating, which means that the people reader gives the market research data information that nobody is actually watching the TV, but in reality is there are thousands of people who watch the TV. So that's what we're going to share with you today, and to give you a small idea about what the Spanish market looks like. We're very, very spoiled in Spain with more than 12.5 million connected TVs, which makes it one of the biggest markets actually in the world with connected HbbTV devices. And we've been very lucky to cover the majority of those markets with our own technology in Spain, meaning feeding HbbTV signaling into the linear channel or measuring HbbTV signals from the channels itself. And the sample that we're going to share with you, some more data, is about a cooperation with Kantar, which is the local jig operator in Spain. And they worked with the local TV markets and media agencies to provide the market data, which until now was always the state of the art. But many smaller channels and even large channels were complaining about the 0 rating, which makes their content and their channels, their audiences, just not sellable to media agencies who says, well, you know, if you have a 0 rating, that means nobody's watching. And what we've done is we looked into the HbbTV data, how that could be put together with the classical TAM data from from Kantar. And here you see one channel with an audience of 20 to 34 years old. And when you go down to the bottom of the graph, all of that is what we call a zero rating. So when the normal panel from Kantar shows that nobody's watching, that is what the broadcasters complain about, because they say it sounds strange because we believe there are people actually watching. And then together with our data, Kantar made a project which is now going into a live final stage after a proof of concept over 2 years, which will be the first in the market worldwide combined HbbTv and linear panel data. They call it the Fusion project. And when you see the result of that, you immediately see what the difference is. So the data now shown in the blue graph with more soft zigzags is the combined panel data from us and from Kantar in the Fusion. And you see that there are, except of in the morning hours, where it's just very few people watching anyway television, but whether it's during lunchtime or between 8 and 10 o'clock, there are lots of people watching. And that is just a proof again for the channels that yes, they can sell this audience because people are actually watching. Another example I want to show you, here's an overview of 5 channels with the normal TAM data, so the Kantar data, and after the Fusion project, when it comes to only one channel which has 2% of their time span in with 0 rating, which seems pretty okay. And another example, which I wanted to show you live, is the DKIS data from October 13th. So when this is the data from Kantar, which shows here in the middle of the day, 0 rating points for about 12 minutes. And when you then overlay that with our data, suddenly we have more than 6,500 households, or nearly 50,000 viewers in that time span where Kantar is saying that nobody is watching. So, you know, overall, this is a really, really good example of how HbbTv data is used together with market research companies to make linear advertising actually a much more valuable asset to sell. And then we're using that data, for example, for addressable TV, because obviously we can measure the addressable audience that is watching the TV at that time, which again, a normal panel cannot do. So all of that we're going to show in Naples next week. But what it allows for the broadcaster, and in this case for Kantar, it allows really structural data collection for lots of insights into user behavior. We do user tracking identification, so we can match a mobile phone with the household, and then allows the personalization and data-driven decisions for the advertiser, which gets the data from the ad server in this case. So I think that's really it, what we wanted to show you, Jörn, and we're very excited to show you more of that when we are all in Naples.
Thank you very much. Very exciting, of course. And what I've learned today is there is no such thing as 0 rating.
There is a little bit sometimes, but
not always.
Not always, definitely not always, because nearly every moment in a day people are watching television, and that's the good news.
That is good news, especially for smaller and local broadcasters who are very often faced with this apparent 0 rating from the big organizations that measure the ratings. And it's good to know that HbbTv can add a little bit extra here and go down into further detail. Great use of HbbTv for a service that's maybe unexpected for some people, and a great way of discussing that is of course going to be next week in Naples. Let's get everybody back on the screen to have a round of goodbye, and there we are. Everybody's back. couple of closing words, perhaps. If you've missed the beginning, I'd like to mention again the website HbbTv.org has got all the details for you on the symposium next week. The major event of the connected TV industry in Naples on 28th and 29th of November, and there's still a chance to buy tickets, but they're selling out quickly, so be quick and better do that right after this show. It's been an amazing 3 preview events. This was the last one of this series, so we're all ready to start in exactly 1 week from today. Tuesday next week is the beginning. Day 1 is a conference, a classic conference with speeches, presentations, panels, and roundtables. And day 2 is something new, an unconference, where the audience is asked to submit their own topics, interesting ideas, questions, and challenges. So we'll be talking a lot about the things that really matter towards the players in the industry. So that'll be really interesting to see what comes out of that. Thank you very much for being with us today, and see you all in Naples next week. Goodbye.
In Naples.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.